Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
On this Juneteenth, we welcome you in to GMSA at 9. Hope you're having a nice Thursday so far.
Yes, happy Thursday. Some people have off, which is interesting because this morning, I think Alex Gomez was saying that there were more accidents than he expected out there because, people are off today.
I guess so, yeah, including people here in the building. So thanks for hanging with us and welcome back to you. I know you enjoyed a few days off as well. And the weather, I think, was pretty nice if you did anything outside. I know we'll take a look. We'll get to Justin momentarily, but first, we must look at live cam to show you, is it me or are there little raindrops perhaps in the area falling somewhere right now?
It is not you. There is a few very light showers.
Thank you.
In fact, Shelby just came in and she saw a nice little rainbow here from the parking lot of KSAT Studios. So let's get right to Authority Radar. Look, it's, again, these are not much. These are these little streamer showers that may give you a very brief downpour and then they'll move right along. So these are not the kind that will fill up your rain gauge, but you know what? Every little bit counts, as we say, every drop counts. There's a nice little shower there along 410 on the city's south side and an occasional sprinkle on the northeast side of town as well. All of this, again, very light. We'll keep an eye on it, but rain chances, they're still going to stay at 10% today. That's the best we can do. You look at the satellite picture, we do have more clouds this morning than we have in days past. So we'll start off mostly cloudy, and then those clouds will break apart and we'll go partly cloudy to mostly sunny this afternoon. Forecast calls for a high temperature near 93. Again, those clouds will scatter out and we'll get some breezy conditions. Heat index values will be up near 100. And the new drought monitor is in, and I got to tell you, I'm disappointed. We'll explain why coming up here in just a few minutes. Guys?
Thank you, Justin. We'll look out with TransGuide real quick. And like we said, there were some crashes around town earlier. Right now, it's looking good there at that shot of I-37. Looking on the TxDOT website, and it looks like there was a minor crash at I-10 at Wurzbach Road. So if you're traveling in that area, just be aware of that. Looks like there's a lane blocked off.
Okay, right now we are keeping a close eye on a deadly house fire from overnight on the northwest side.
Our Patty Santos has been following that story all morning and has the latest from investigators.
San Antonio fire arson investigators are going to try to determine what started this house fire. We know that a woman in her late 70s died. Now, some of the neighbors have shared her name with us, but we are waiting for official authorities to release that name. Here's what we know. The fire started around 3:30 this morning here on South Hill Road. This is in the Hillcrest community. A lot of the neighbors tell me she was very well known on this street because she's been here for decades. Many of them grew up with her. They grew up around her, and they tell me she was very sweet. She had a green thumb and that she loved animals.
She loved animals almost more than people. I mean, that was how much she loved animals.
Parrots, dogs, chickens.
You name it, she had it. And if she was going down the street, many times she would stop and rescue animals because that was her legacy.
It was actually 2 San Antonio police officers that got to the scene very quickly, and they were able to break through the front door, but the smoke, they just could not make entry because the smoke was so overwhelming. The fire department eventually arrived and put out the fire. They say it's concentrated in the back side of the house near the bedroom and the kitchen area. Animal Control Services will be called later today to remove some of the pets that this woman owned here in this house to hopefully relocate them to somewhere safe. We do know that one of her dogs died. 2 others did manage to make it out. That is all we have this morning. I'm Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
Ensure that we are all aware of making sure that that is appropriate in scope, not only for the engineering and infrastructure related items as a result of that, but also make sure our processes and policies as it relates to extreme weather events were sufficient.
The weather was also a discussion ahead of last night's swearing-in ceremony for newly elected Mayor Gina Ortiz-Jones. She talked more about city infrastructure. The mayor, along with several new members of the San Antonio City Council, took their oaths of office.
Well, Mayor Jones will be flying out today to attend the annual meeting of the U.S. Conference of Mayors in Tampa. This is her first elected office, so she is a former Undersecretary of the Air Force under Joe Biden and made 2 unsuccessful congressional bids. Here's a look at today's 9 at 9. Well, new developments in the ongoing tensions between Israel and Iran. Overnight, Israel launching more airstrikes, hitting several targets in Iran. Now, President Trump weighing military action. Meanwhile, it's been nearly 1 week since Israel launched a wave of airstrikes targeting Iran's nuclear program. Iran's deputy foreign minister is warning of retaliation.
And take a look at this video from last night. A SpaceX rocket being tested here in Texas exploded, sending a dramatic fireball high into the sky. The company said the Starship experienced a major anomaly while on the test stand, and nobody was hurt.
Well, this morning, authorities are investigating anonymous pizza deliveries sent to members of Congress and the people who protect them. So multiple lawmakers, both Democrats and Republicans, along with U.S. Capitol Police leaders, have received unsolicited pizza at their homes. Capitol Police now working with state and federal partners to track down who is behind the deliveries as lawmakers demand tighter security.
It's the end of an era for one of pro sports' most storied franchises. The Los Angeles Lakers are reportedly being sold at a valuation of some $10 billion. That's the highest amount ever for a U.S. pro sports team. The majority of the team will now be owned by the Los Angeles Dodgers owner, Mark Walter.
Social Security is a year closer to running out of money. Trustees now say the fund will be depleted by 2034. That's a year sooner than previous predictions. So last year, the gap between payouts and the money taken in through Social Security taxes hit over $100 billion.
A new study shows a possible connection between microplastics and risk for diseases like type 2 diabetes and stroke. Researchers focused on U.S. counties within 200 miles of the Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, and the Gulf. The study showed those who lived in areas with deeper concentrations of microplastics had an 18% higher risk of type 2 diabetes, 9% higher risk of stroke, and 7% higher risk of coronary artery disease.
Nippon Steel now says it has finished its $15 billion takeover of U.S. Steel, creating the world's fourth largest steel company. So the deal was approved by the federal government after measures were included, giving federal officials a say in some company decisions.
Liquid Death is bringing a new collaboration to life. The water brand is part of a new whiskey that's partly aged in an actual casket. After aging in a traditional oak barrel for a few years, the whiskey is finished in a custom-made casket for about 2 weeks and married with Liquid Death's mountain-sourced water. Whistle Pig Gravestock Wheat Whiskey goes on sale later this month online and at certain retailers.
Well, Apple may be ready to fold. Several reports say Apple is working on a foldable iPhone. So several parts apparently still need to be worked out, including the hinge that holds it together, but it could be ready for sale in the fall of 2026.
All right. Well, of course, today, June 19th, it is Juneteenth.
That's right. And we have a list of events scheduled for today and also Saturday following this weekend's annual Juneteenth celebrations.
All right, so this weekend was the annual parade that began at Sam Houston High School, ending at Comanche Park No. 2, where a festival was held.
Well, Juneteenth celebration marks June 19th, 1865, the day news of the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation reached enslaved people of Texas.
2 years after President Abraham Lincoln had signed it, and Juneteenth became a federal holiday back in 2021.
Well, for a list of all the events happening this week, you can head over to KSAT.com or you can scan that QR code on your screen right now.
All right, and because Juneteenth is a federal holiday, that means some closures that you might not be aware of.
That's right. So banks will be closed along with some municipal or city offices in our viewing area. In addition to those offices, San Antonio City Libraries will also be closed. Officials with CPS Energy also say that its offices and customer service centers will be closed to observe the holiday. If you're wondering about garbage and recycling pickup, that will run as normal today.
Okay, and speaking of holidays, we have celebrations coming your way. The 4th of July is 2 weeks away, 2 weeks from tomorrow, I believe. Stars and Stripes on Houston Street is returning this year. It's a 6-day celebration in downtown San Antonio. It starts on July 1st. There will also be a special performance by the 300th Army Reserve Band, and you can be a part of that parade. Centro SA is accepting entries for parade participation through June 29th. We have a link to the registration page on KSAT.com.
Yeah, that's coming up pretty quick, the 4th of July.
Sneaking up on me. Yeah, no kidding. All right, 9:07 right now, 80 degrees outside.
Let's look outside with the Trans Guide. Earlier, things look good for the most part. There's a Wurzbach at Jones-Maltsberger. Things are moving. Also moving there at I-35, Somerset Road. Grass looks really green over there. Just that accident to be aware of off of Wurzbach and I-10. Just one lane blocked there, but just be aware of it.
We're here with Kim from the Humane Society, and you have a beautiful, beautiful
I
kid.
know. This is Cosmo. So Cosmo
Love
is...
the name.
I know, right?
Because I'm a Seinfeld fan.
We did it just for you.
Yes, Cosmo Kramer. if you're
Cosmo
not familiar.
Kramer.
But anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
Tell me about Cosmo.
So Cosmo is a little 2-month-old, sweet little orange kitty cat that came in, was one of our fosters. So was brought in, was a little too tiny, so went to foster and is now ready to find their forever home and is all sweet and cuddly right now.
That's awesome. So, and these cats and dogs that go to these fosters, I suppose it could help a little bit, right? Because they get accustomed to being around people and families. And
exactly.
They're
they
great
can get
to adopt.
acclimated, everything. And so they love that. And then it also helps too for them if they've got some sort of a little bit of an anxiety, just to be around a different environment.
Sure.
So get out of the shelter.
Yes, and you guys are always in need of fosters, right? I mean,
Yes, we are. We're always in need of fosters. So especially this time because the summer months, people are traveling. But yes, if you want to be a foster, you can go to our website and sign up for it.
That's a cool way to have a pet for a little while.
And we give you all the supplies too. So we teach you everything. We give you all the supplies and check in. So
Sweet
little Cosmo.
All right, so what do you guys got going on right now?
So we have our vaccination clinics. So if you need to get low cost vaccinations, this is for everybody. We can do that for you. So that is anything from microchipping to heartworm. You can get your Bordetella, your rabies vaccinations. Everything's on our website, and you can make an appointment and then come see us.
That's awesome because all that stuff's so important.
It is very
when you're getting your pet to get all that done and microchipping and
you want to keep them healthy, especially during the summer months when things can be going around. So you want to make sure they're healthy and they're fun. So,
great. So go check that out. Go adopt Cosmo.
Yes, come see Cosmo.
Yes. All right. What's the information for?
So if you want to come see us, it's 4804 Fredericksburg Road, or you can go to our website, sahumane.org, and we're open 12:30 to 7.
Awesome, Kim. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, he is pretty cute.
Yeah.
No question about it. Okay. Well, a San Antonio area nonprofit wants to give kids something to do this summer so they will not get into trouble.
That's right. So Big Mama's Safe House is launching the Great Youth T-shirt printing program. So the T-shirt printing program is an 8-week course that will teach them design, print, and even financial literacy. It is completely free, and they even get a meal. So the nonprofit did a similar program last year, and they say the success is that their kids had a safe place to hang out in the summer. Now, right now, both locations are struggling to get teens motivated to sign up. The program is open to kids in those communities, so you can head over to KSAT.com and look up a link for the story.
And social media has become more than just a place to share snippets of our lives and keep up with family and friends.
Well, now it can feel like our feeds are overwhelmed with advertisements and branded content as well. So having products so readily available at our fingertips makes it easier than ever to click and buy immediately.
Amazon.
Right?
ABC's Melissa Adon has some tips on how to avoid impulse spending.
Impulse purchases can be fun to make in the moment, but hurt your budget in the long run. According to a Bankrate survey from March, 16% of Americans say they have bought an unplanned, non-essential item in just the last month.
On social media, an impulse purchase can look like a product from TikTok Shop. It could look like buying clothing from an influencer. And outside of social media, it could be as simple as buying things in the grocery store that aren't on your list, or buying a pair of shoes because you got an email about it.
Think of your budget like a pie. When you cut out a slice for impulse buys, you detract from the other slices.
It might be subtracting from other line items in your budget. That could be adding to your savings, paying off debt, even having enough money to pay for your essentials so that you don't end up in credit card debt.
So what can you do to stop yourself from making these types of purchases? First, set a budget and stick to it.
There are so many good budgeting apps out there. If you have a certain spend limit in mind, that can help you when it comes to making that purchase or not. You can think about the limit that you set for yourself that month.
If you see something you want, wait at least 24 hours before buying it.
You can even add it to your cart, but give it a full day, sleep on it, think about it, look in your closet and see whether you already have it before you make that purchase.
Don't shop on your phone.
If you need to delete the Amazon app, don't have your your credit card information saved on your phone. You might even unfollow people who are making you want to make these purchases.
Try the no buy challenge, making no discretionary purchases for a set amount of time.
And what that does is causes you to re-examine your habits so that when you do re-enter that spending, you can do it with more mindfulness and less of that impulsiveness.
You can even take a personal finance course or work with a credit counselor.
This is a tough habit to break, and it can help to just have another person be able to guide you through that process.
Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Things
I think
to
we
remember.
got triggered by that story there.
Some of us did anyway.
I think I scared you when I was like, the budget doesn't matter. You're
They
like,
said
what?
set a budget, and she broke into raucous laughter.
Whoa.
My favorite is when I get home and there's a box in front, and I go, Tammy, what did you get? I have no idea what that is.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember. I
don't know what
something.
it is.
Listen, I'm going to email you my spreadsheet that I've made.
I will study it, Justin.
Not really. Okay, I got to show you the drought monitor, and
You said you were disappointed.
I'm so disappointed. So this is from last week. Okay, so this is where we were last week, and this has really been the case for a long time. So now I'm going to fast forward so you can get an idea of what has changed to now, and not much. It shrunk just a little bit. You would have thought, with all the rain we got here in San Antonio, that would at least got us out of the extreme drought. And look, Medina County got a ton of rain too. They still remain in exceptional drought. So what gives here? Well, this is put together by humans, and they take a lot of things into account, a lot of factors. It can be soil moisture, it could be rainfall, obviously, but they also look at lakes. And I'm guessing that they're looking at Medina Lake and saying, wow, that's still really bad. You're still in exceptional drought. That's part of it. I can't say that. I can't say that unequivocally. I don't know, but that is my guess. And look, we do need more rain. We are still in drought. There's no two ways around that. But I really did think that the drought monitor would show a little bit better conditions around here. We may try to contact the folks that do the drought monitor and see what they're thinking, so we can all, get on the same page. But anyway, that is the latest drought monitor. And as we look at authority radar right now, we do actually have some showers popping up, which is not a bad thing. These are quick moving, kind of what we call streamer showers. So you have kind of the lines of clouds, right? So the cloud streets that you get, and then along those you get these little pop-up showers sometimes where they can kind of build up a little bit. And we're seeing a few of those here around San Antonio. If you do see one, consider yourself lucky. They won't last very long. They'll give you a quick downpour and then move right along. But nice to see a little bit on the radar this morning. We are at 18.93 for the year. We are still 4 inches above average for now. So again, that's why we thought maybe the drought monitor would look a little bit better than it did. Outside, you can see some of those showers there in the distance. We're looking south, right at that shower that I just showed you there along the southern part of 410. 80 at the airport, but boy, is it muggy. It feels like 84 right now. 81 in New Braunfels, 81 in Converse, 77 in Bernie. And we'll get some more good southerly winds today, which they were fairly gusty yesterday, but that just keeps pulling in that moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, and we're just seeing more and more of that. You look at the clouds, we're certainly getting more of those today. They will scatter out, and we'll go partly cloudy this afternoon, but starting off with more clouds than we have last couple days. High temperatures this afternoon, around 93 here in San Antonio. Underneath the heat high, it will be 114 in Phoenix today, 108 in Vegas. They continue to see the really extreme hot temperatures. But this heat high is going to move. It moves across Texas, and look, our temperatures stay pretty consistent because we have that fetch from the Gulf of Mexico. But as this heat high moves up towards the Great Lakes and the Midwest, that's going to crank up the temperatures there. And by Sunday, this is Sunday we're talking about here, temperatures in Detroit, Chicago, Omaha, St. Louis will be approaching 100. It will likely be hotter up here than it is down in Texas, so we'll gladly share the heat with them. Unfortunately, for those folks, they're not as used to it as we are, so it can be quite dangerous up there. Forecast does call for a 10% chance of rain next few days, really going through the weekend. The radar is going to look like what we're seeing this morning, just some of those spotty light showers. And we probably see that even into next week, too.
All right. Well, if not rain in our area, immediate area, at least overcast, maybe some clouds here and there. We'll take that.
Yeah, it helps. It's just so humid.
Yeah.
Enough to ruin your car wash.
Ooh.
The little drizzles.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Little drizzles.
But if you do wash your car, then
Yeah.
everybody will get rain.
That's true.
That's the rule.
You're helping the community.
Yes, okay. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a circle.
Yes.
All right, we'll be back 9:21. Don't go away.
Never owned a new car before. It's awfully fitting for a handsome devil rock star.
We're getting our first look at the upcoming Bruce Springsteen biopic called Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. The boss will be played by Jeremy Allen White, best known for his role in the hit show The Bear. The movie is set to follow how Springsteen wrote his seminal 1982 album, Nebraska. Look for Deliver Me From Nowhere in theaters October 24th. Cardi B is getting ready to drop some new music. The rapper posting about a new single called Outside. Could it be the song of the summer? Well, the album cover has a warm weather vibe, complete with a picture of an open fire hydrant on a city street. Outside is set to come out tomorrow.
It's time we boil down to our core values.
A new trailer for the long-running comedy It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia hints at some high-profile crossover episodes coming in season 17. The gang will appear at Abbott Elementary, and Danny DeVito's character will also drop in for an appearance on The Golden Bachelor. Look for the new season of Sunny on July 9th. If you missed the surprise hit Final Destination Bloodlines in theaters, good news. The horror sequel is now available on video on demand. And happy birthday to Macklemore. The Seattle-born rapper alongside Ryan Lewis is a 3-time Grammy winner. Macklemore turns 42 today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Zoreen Shah, ABC News Los Angeles.
Hey there, I'm Patty Santos, and I'm here with Benny Price. If you have a teenager that's just hanging out at the house and maybe they need a job or learn how to make money, Benny, you have a program. Tell me about it.
Yes, so Big Mama Safe House is hosting our summer program. It's called the Great Youth T-shirt program, and we're accepting youth from the ages of 10 to 16 to come out and to learn how to design and make T-shirts. And after that, you can be able to go into entrepreneurship, and you get to sell your T-shirts that you make. And Big Mama Safe House will support you with your first 10 T-shirts as well at the end of the program.
Okay, and so you have 2 locations where they can be a part of this. We are in the west side location, and there's also one in the east side.
So the west side location is Arizona Apache Courts, and on the east side is the Springview Apartments.
All right. And so if you want your kids to be a part of this program, to learn maybe how to start a business, how to manage the money that they make with that business, you need to call up this guy. And you can head to KSAT.com right now for a link.
Well, today marks 1 week since the deadly floods.
Indeed, and we are remembering the lives that were lost. Community members gathered to pay their respects to the 13 people who died in the historic floodwaters that we saw last week. The night team Zaria Oates was there for that vigil.
My heart definitely goes out to all these families.
For them to come out, and some of these people that I've spoken to don't have relatives or wasn't involved, and they're still here to support. So my heart is filled with gratitude more than anything.
My dad was he believed in God. He believed that everything happened in accordance to God's will. So as unfortunate as this might be, I say it again, do not let this break y'all, bro.
In moments like these, we can trust that San Antonio will come together.
They told us how dangerous it was to search, and we searched for 12 hours or more for Derwin.
Can't think of the last time something like this has happened here in San Antonio.
So they neglected us, and we are going to fight. And we are going to fight for all the families out here that don't have the strength to fight. And we're not going to let it go. So we are gathering contact information, we are gathering resources, and we're going to fight out of love.
We're going to understand what happened here, how we can do better, and I just wanted to express my condolences.
And Zaria Oates reporting there on that. Meanwhile, to a scam alert for you now, some CPS Energy customers may receive a call from somebody claiming to be a representative who says that your power will be disconnected unless you pay a bill over the phone. CPS Energy wants to remind you that they will never demand payment over the phone. If you receive a phone call from a suspicious so-called CPS Energy spokesperson, hang up and report that phone number. Our KSAT community partners are getting the word out about Project Men's summer donation collection drives. Their first Gear Up for Mobility event will take place at New Braunfels City Hall.
So that's going to be happening next Saturday. That is June 28th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And that's where you can donate new or gently used home medical equipment like wheelchairs and power scooters. So you can find all these details on ksatcommunity.com.
All right, live cam on this Juneteenth as we go outside and we have some clouds and rain in some of those clouds. And you mentioned a rainbow was out there earlier, Justin?
It was indeed right over the station. And as we look out there, we can see a little bit of a rain cloud there. Again, you're not going to see much rain out of these quick moving small downpours, but they are there. The authority radar is showing that. And let's zoom in on some of these downpours. Right now, moving close to Palo Alto College. This is probably the heaviest. It's just to the west of Mitchell Lake. And this is working north, and we'll cross 410 here shortly. So you'll get a quick burst of rain there around Palo Alto College. Again, it should maybe last a minute or two and then be on its way. Another little downpour just went west of downtown. This is working its way up towards Fredericksburg, Jefferson High School, and we'll cross over I-10 here shortly. A couple of other light showers on the northeast side. So you get the idea here. Most of this is pretty light. Temperatures around 93 this afternoon. It will be very humid here in San Antonio, and the heat index values will be up around 100. Pollen count is in. Molds are high, 1,500. They actually come up just a little bit from where they were yesterday, so molds continue to be a problem for those who have the sniffles and sneezes. Guys.
They were fighting. The Americans were on the left. The Germans on the right, some kind of an officer, I imagine. Yeah. What are you doing? Get out. I said, you do your job and I do mine.
Yeah, one of the highest honors out there given to a 103-year-old World War II veteran from right here in San Antonio. This is Private First Class Pedro Vera.
Well, Pedro Vera enlisted in the U.S. Army in 1942. And by 1944, he was storming the beaches of Normandy, driving ambulances full of wounded soldiers. So after KSAT's interview, he was whisked away in an old Army Jeep, taken to the Veterans Plaza in Bernie, where a major general offered his own award, pinning Pedro as a one-star general. And then a member of the French consulate from Houston gave him the French Legion of Honor, the highest award in their country. Pedro has a message for the rest of us.
All right, meanwhile, can you believe that the 4th of July is just 2 weeks away? 2 weeks from tomorrow. And Stars and Stripes on Houston Street is returning this year. It's a 6-day celebration in downtown San Antonio, which starts on July 1st. There will also be a special performance by the 300th Army Reserve Band, and you can be a part of the parade. Centro SA is accepting entries for parade participation through June 29th. We have a link to the registration page right now at KSAT.com.
Well, they are small in size, but big on talent. This morning, we are shining the spotlight on San Antonio's youngest entrepreneurs at the Pearl, where crayons meet creativity and lemonade stands level up.
Yeah, last night was a children's night market, giving kids a chance to dream big, sell their own creations, and show the community what they are made of. Take a look.
So we have a natural, all natural bath and body care line that we handcraft ourselves. Our daughter, we have 3 daughters, she's our oldest. They help create everything that we have on our table. This time is going to be kid-centered, so any kid entrepreneur are the ones that are in the center of it, and the parents are just here to support them.
Hello. We did hand fans, magnets, bookmarks, and a coaster set with napkin holders. And then for the bookmarks, we also painted it and put string right here. I had this economics fair in my school, and it was like we could sell them. So my mom said, oh, why don't we make like fans too, and like for this, the Pearl.
My daughter here, she's an entrepreneur herself. She runs her own lemonade business. She has over 50,000 followers on Instagram, helps grow them, helps them with real life experiences, interactions with adults, interactions with other kids, teaching them everyday values. It's a wonderful thing that the Pearl hosts here.
Very good. Okay. Well, with the kiddos at home, raiding the fridge and the pantry, parents might find themselves shopping for snacks more often.
Yes, yes. And there are a ton of choices. So how do you narrow down the options if you're looking for something healthy?
So we have right here 2 snack options, 1 serving of cookies and 1 serving of strawberries. So the question is, which would you choose? I mean, I go right away to the cookies.
Right. But which would you choose for healthy?
I mean, healthy. My brain would immediately think fruit equals healthy, so strawberries.
Yeah, I would pick strawberry. Oh, there you go. Very nice.
This or
I would
that?
pick strawberries as well. Okay, well, let's see. The answer is on the bottom. Priscilla told me.
Oh.
So the cup, but here's an interesting fact. Even though I guess we would pick strawberries, 1 cup of strawberries, 7 grams of sugar. Okay?
Okay.
And then 8 cookies, 5 grams of sugar.
There you go.
So
I'm doing it all wrong.
we're still getting a lot of sugar. Should we not? We should probably not tell the kids about that.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
So of course the strawberries.
They're more nutrient dense, but coming up on the news at noon, Consumer Reports is taking the guesswork out of shopping for snacks.
Yeah, they're comparing some popular brands and breaking down those nutrition facts. Yeah, I'm still gonna, I'm gonna tell.
It'll be our little secret.
Yeah, I'll be all our secret. We'll tell the kiddos. Yeah, of course the strawberries are healthier. They are.
Eat your fruit.
Yeah.
All right, 9:39 right now, 80 degrees outside.
Let's look outside with a trans guide really quick. Looking over here, I-10 at the Y, things are also moving at 35, 37. Things are looking pretty good on the roadways right now. Welcome back. It's 9:43. Well, many are wondering if San Antonio's drinking water would be safe if a controversial northwest side development were to go into place. So our Sarah Costa spoke with a UTSA professor who says absolutely not.
If the Guajolote Ranch housing development were to happen, a water treatment plant would have to be put in place. So here's a little bit of their conversation and why the professor believes the water would not be safe to use or drink and how it could hurt us in the long run.
The biggest concern is if this project was to happen and they build this waste plant, is that water safe to drink, especially for all of San Antonio residents?
The short answer is no. It's not safe to drink.
Dr. Salgado Data is a professor of hydrology and geochemistry and the chair of UTSA's Department of Earth and Planetary Sciences. He has been following the Guajolote Ranch development plan to go into northwest Bexar County that would sit on Helotes Creek watershed that feeds into the Edwards Aquifer. If the development happens, it would bring 2,900 homes on approximately 1,100 acres west of Scenic Loop and Babcock Roads, which would require a wastewater treatment plant for San Antonio drinking water. Neighbors have been fighting this development because of the impacts on the environment and the water quality for 1.6 million people. Dr. Dada says residents are rightfully concerned about drinking treated sewage water. He says drinking treated sewage water needs to be thoroughly cleaned.
The trouble is that when they build up with time, that needs to be treated properly by these wastewater treatment plants, which that's what they are supposed to do. But sometimes this treatment process is not flawless.
Even if the water is perfectly cleaned, the chemicals used to treat that water are even more harmful to the human body.
The terminal part of it, which we don't want to see for sure, is the developing the, say, carcinogens or cancerous. And these are, almost all these chemicals have a potential for going in that direction.
On top of that, the treated water doesn't always clean out forever chemicals in wastewater, which can also cause things like cancer.
They will actually start corroding some of the organs that we have, and that leads to some of the cancerous diseases that we see.
That water would also be used to irrigate local farms, spraying those forever chemicals onto our food. He says as a whole, this also impacts the entire watershed and aquifer system, disrupting the ecosystem.
The whole ecosystem will be affected, and in that ecosystem stays the human health. That will be affected.
Dada says an unhealthy ecosystem means unhealthy humans in the long run. Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News.
Okay, 9:46 now, time to take a look at Zoo Cam and the flamingos out and about.
They're just chilling with the overcast weather.
I guess so. I was trying to see if any raindrops were hitting the little lagoon or the little lake.
Oh, maybe, or it's just I don't know.
Ripples.
Maybe that's what we
Just
see.
some ripples.
Water.
Yeah.
They seem more subdued.
Subdued. Yeah, I was
Yes.
gonna say. Yeah.
Maybe they know something. Again, they probably know something we don't.
They're laughing at us right now. They're like, oh, it was crazy. KSAT.
Probably. Okay, so I just got word Hurricane Eric has been downgraded to Category 1. But what a lifespan.
Seriously.
It went all the way to Cat 4 overnight. And now that it's making landfall, it's weakening again. But this, I think, surprised a lot of people with its intensity. And it really probably brought on a pretty good amount of storm surge there to the west coast of Mexico. So this was the satellite picture around midnight. And it turned into a pretty big storm. It had a nice eye. So when you get that kind of structure, you know this storm is really strengthening. Then as it has made landfall this morning, it's, yes, weakening some, but it's slow moving. And this is the 10 a.m. update, by the way, 85-mile-per-hour winds moving northwest at 12. So it's going to drop just a ton of heavy rain here on the coast of Mexico, not only because it's moving slow, but because it's going to move kind of parallel to the coast. And so the concerns for mudslides and all that, especially around Oaxaca and over towards Acapulco, it's serious. Rainfall totals could be a foot or more. Eric will quickly turn into a depression. It'll weaken pretty quickly, but not before dropping all that heavy rain as it does. And we can look at some of the computer models here. And yes, we're talking 12 to 16 inches, especially there around Acapulco. So this is going to be a huge rainmaker and potentially bring in some pretty serious flooding. Up in the States, our precipitation outlook as we look down the line. Now, we mentioned we've got a couple showers out there this morning. We'll see a couple as we get into the weekend and next week. But as far as the extended forecast, this is June 22nd through 26th. In general, we'll continue to see some of those coastal showers. Looks like the monsoon will kick in, so there'll be some good shower and storm activity across the desert Southwest where they need some rain. But the main takeaway from here is that it's positive. We have above average chances of seeing at least something in the precipitation department going forward. And look at that. As I say precipitation, we got precipitation on the camera as we look at 14 and 19. So that shower has made it right over our lens here. 80 degrees at the airport, 81 New Braunfels, 81 Converse, 77 right now in Bernie. And let's look at that authority radar, and you can see, yes, we still have some of those showers around, and they're starting to work through just north of downtown here in San Antonio. I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer so we can get a better idea. But yes, there are the showers around 410 and 910. Again, pretty light. The heaviest stuff is down here on the southwest side. So right along I-35. And that'll make its way up towards Burbank High School and John F. Kennedy High School. If you live in those areas, expect a quick, brief shower. We'll keep in a small chance for that today. But you can see how they're kind of developing. You get these kind of streets of clouds, and among those streets, you get these little, showers. They bubble up there where we have just a little bit of instability. But this is also a good indication that we're getting a good moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. And the Futurecast does show that. Shows more or less kind of a sea breeze trying to take shape. A lot of times, though, these have a hard time making it all the way up to San Antonio during the afternoon. We shall see. We certainly could see a few, and I think this type pattern continues. 10% chance of showers, 93 is our forecast high today. And the extended forecast will go 93 tomorrow as we officially welcome summer. And then small chances, stay with us all the way into next week.
All right, officially summer, but we've already got used to the warm weather.
Sure. Yeah,
Who are we kidding?
It's just a date at this point. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Very good, sir. Thank you very much. All right. Well, this Juneteenth, SA Live is highlighting events around San Antonio and Black-owned businesses in your neighborhood. And one of those businesses is making waves in wrestling.
All right. And Jada Pickett takes us inside Dog Pound Dojo to meet a couple who overcame challenges in the industry, and they're now giving back.
Former WWE superstars and husband and wife duo are raising the next generation of wrestlers right here in the Alamo City. Dog Pound Championship Wrestlers is the premier spot in San Antonio, Texas, and has a new location.
Joining me
today is Jazz and Rodney Mack here to talk all about the dog pound. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Thanks for coming.
So, dog pound here in San Antonio. Can you tell me all about it?
My Panran, which is the Cajun word for Godfather in Louisiana. His name is Floyd Bujo, and he has a long history, rich history in pit bulls. Just about every dog walking around in the South has a bloodline or is related to the bloodline of Floyd Bujo. I've always been around that, raised that, and that's what raised the dogs, and they taught me everything about wrestling.
What made San Antonio the perfect spot for dog pound?
Honestly, when we first broke into the business, we did a lot of traveling here to Texas. It was a Dallas area, but once we did our research and trying to find our next nesting place, we chose San Antonio. And like you've probably heard, there's tons of promotions here in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Yes, so it's just a place to be right now.
Now tell me about this new facility. How is it different from your original one, and how many locations do you have?
This is the only one. We're working on something else in Dallas at the moment, but this is more personal. We've never really had an opportunity to settle down and really get the location we're looking for, and this is like one of the first ones that kind of fit what we're looking for.
A few weeks ago, you made your return to the ring at TNA Impact here in San Antonio. Can you take me through what that was like?
Yes, it was like 3 to 4 days prior to the event that Tommy Dreamer reached out and asked if I would be a surprise in the Battle Royal. Of course, I said yes. The music hit. Lights, cameras, action, baby. Yes.
So TNA was actually my first wrestling show that I've ever attended.
Oh, wow.
So when I saw you as a black woman, seeing another strong black woman out there, like, I was super proud. Like, even not having much knowledge about the wrestling industry, it was just nice being able to see you and be able to, in a way, see myself. Because it's like, it's representation. You can't be who you can't see. So how important is representation to you as a black business owner and just a black wrestler in this industry?
Oh, wow. Just being black in this industry is, it's, I'm not gonna say it has its pros and cons, you know. For sure, this industry is not easy no matter what color you are. I came up during a time where there wasn't many women wrestling. I had to wrestle men, so that was a little tough comparing to what it is now. There's tons of women in the business now. Just being black and a black woman as a business owner, it most definitely takes a lot of hard work and dedication.
Well, for more information about Dog Pound, go to SALive.com, click on the As Seen on SA Live tab, or just scan the QR code on your screen. Thank you guys so much, and I'm about to get in that ring and do some tricks. So let's see what I can do. Let's see it.
I'll teach you, girl.
Welcome back. It's 9:58. Let's look out there with TransGuide this morning. Things looking good there at I-10 at Hildebrand. They're moving and also looking good here as well. And then a lot of green on your screen when we're talking about, you know, just I guess after all the rain that we did get last week.
Maybe some roads are getting more rain right now.
Yes, we do actually have a couple of showers out there across the area. And in fact, while you're looking at the 7-day here, I'll pull up the radar and we can take a glance one more time at the radar if I can make that. See, I always click on the wrong tab, but I'm here. I'm ready. Okay, here we go. Yes, so there are some of those showers, mainly just kind of west of downtown is where we're seeing some of those. I don't want to say heavier downpours because they're not terribly heavy, but enough to make you turn on the windshield wipers. And these are all kind of just west of I-10 and west of I-35. So just be aware of that if you're going to be out and about this morning. You may briefly need an umbrella, and a welcome sight to see some rain back around San Antonio. This is, let me be very clear, this is not the kind of rain you need to worry about flooding or anything like that.
But this is the kind of stuff you said we might be seeing here in the coming days.
I think, yeah, really over the next 7 days.
Yeah.
All right,
Very
that's good. In small doses, we will take that.
Exactly.
Thanks, Justin.
Very good. Well, have a wonderful Juneteenth. Thanks for hanging with us here. And we're going to turn things over now to our friends across the way at SA Live.
Have a good day.
Celebrating San